everyone, thank you so much for joining me today, and I want to talk to you right now about 3 main ways that our mind creates pain in our system. So let's dive right in. Let's just get some overall sense of what we're talking about right here. So the mind is this beautiful machine that we have that actually creates our reality. So in every moment of our life, we can notice 2 layers of reality happening. The first one is the external reality, so things that happen to us, interactions that we have with people, more like physical, tangible things. And then we have the internal layer, so our inner reality. So that's their emotions, our sensations, the meanings we give to things. And this part is created by the mind. And the mind, every moment that we experience, the mind analyzes both our external reality and also our internal reality. And in this junction point of the external reality and our internal reality, in this junction point, we find our immediate experience of this moment. This is where the beauty is happening. This is where I am right now. And so this is the process of the mind interacting with our reality, and this is how our experience of this moment is created. Now, what happens when the mind is in pain? The mind is hurting. So when the mind is hurting, wherever it looks, it sees danger, danger, danger. And what it does is it wants to take us into some extreme in order to really just color our experience in the direction that it wants to take us, in order to help us stay safe and protect ourselves. And then whatever we come with interaction with, our mind sends us negative and difficult and painful signals. And then our external reality might be pain, and our internal reality is also pain. And then we have 2 layers of pain. So if we started with some kind of physical pain or emotional pain, whether it's chronic illness or mental illness or just stress, now we also have this internal pain going inside us, responding to this external pain and increasing it by adding more pain onto it. And in real life, these 2 layers of experience are not separate. They are always meddling one with the other, creating this experience of this present moment. So I'm not going to go in depth right now into why our mind creates this pain. Why does it analyze the reality as pain, as danger? Because we all have our own traumas and we all have our own inner triggers. So I'm not going to go into that right now. But when it goes through some extent, when the mind hurts repeatedly and through a long period of time, then it starts to really have an influence on our day-to-day life, right? Because we feel hopeless and helpless and disempowered, and we feel like the external reality is too much for us to interact with, that we really try to block ourselves at some point and we start to isolate ourselves. So in my own process with myself, I've learned to recognize a few patterns that the mind uses to take me to that extreme reaction. And I want to share these patterns here with you today so that we can both practice a way to react to them in a more compassionate and healthy way, so that we don't go to these extremes and isolate ourselves. And this is also valid if you're a really very sensitive, highly sensitive person or an empath. So these things might happen to you as well, because the external energy might be too strong and it might also signal out pain to your mind. So here goes. 3 main thinking patterns that our mind uses to take us to the extreme and to create more pain in our experience. So the first one, as I already said, is extreme thinking. So whenever we see the word never, I will never, I was never, I can never, So this is the mind telling us you were never good enough, then you can never do it. This never succeeded, so it never will succeed. And when the mind goes to these extremes, it makes us feel really, really small, and it makes us feel as if there is no hope because there never was success in the process. So it dismisses everything positive that has happened, and it makes us focus only on the negative things. So whenever we see the word never, to me that is a red dot, that's a trigger to understand that the mind right now has an extreme behavior in it. And that is influencing my immediate experience of this moment, and it is coloring my experience of this moment. So the second mind pattern is, wow, this is a really, really big one for me, so it's an important one. Projecting what you do on who you are. The mind has this kind of a magical experience, magical tendency to go, oh, you did something bad, hence you are bad. You did this terrible thing, so you are terrible, and therefore you don't deserve to da 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 da. So fill in the blank. Again, this kind of reaction, you did something bad, hence you are bad, is narrowing down our experience to us being something really, really small. So we have the sensation of this one deed that we did, whether it's a terrible thing or whether it's just our mind telling us that it's really terrible, it narrows us down to feel and think that this is all that we are. And it dismisses everything else that we have inside us. And it makes us really small, really hopeless, and it disempowers us. So the third, right? We're in number 3 now. So the third behavior of the mind is rejecting what is happening right now. So for example, I don't want this. Why is this happening to me? I don't deserve this. What have I done to deserve this? The mind is objecting what is happening, and it's sending you signals that either the situation is wrong or that you are wrong. And again, it makes us see only what is happening, and it dismisses everything else that is happening. And it also makes us feel like we are guilty in it in some way, like we did something to deserve this. And it makes this experience just feel like we're doomed in it. Like I'm hopeless and I'm helpless because this is just happening to me. Maybe I did something, maybe I didn't do something, but this is happening to me and I can't do anything to respond to this properly. And when the mind sends this signal to you, it freezes you from being able to react to what is really happening in that moment, and it increases your pain by focusing on what is happening and also telling you that you are powerless in front of it. So these are the 3 behaviors of the mind that I've experienced, and there are many, okay? And I would love to hear your patterns of the mind as well. So please leave in the comments down below the patterns that you experience in your own mind, because I would love to hear them as well. But these are 3 patterns that I've noticed with me and with other people that I know and that I work with. And I want to share with you what I do to respond to these mind patterns. And what I do is something that I love to call mind exploration exercise. And what it is actually is taking this pattern of the mind and offering the mind a different thought. So the other side thought. Because the mind goes to one extreme and it makes it feel comfortable, it makes it feel safe, it makes it feel that it can control the situation because at least it goes into one direction. And we want to offer the mind the other direction, the other side thought. And when we do that, we really want to be attentive to our approach to this. So this is not a positive affirmation. This is not you telling your mind you're healthy, you're strong, you're loved when your mind doesn't believe it, because this is just pressing your trigger points and hurting yourself. This is just an offering. So the energy and the intention that we come with is like a question mark in the end. It's curiosity. So maybe I am this terrible and maybe I'm not. So it's an offering to the mind, okay? So please remember that, because it's an important side note. It's not a positive affirmation. It's not you telling your mind what to think, but it's you offering your mind a new perspective. And here comes the important and interesting part, and investigating what happens in your body and in your sensation and in your immediate experience when you offer this thought to the mind. So this mind exploration process has 3 stages to it. The first stage is recognizing the thought pattern that is happening. The second stage is to sense, to go back into our immediate experience and to sense in our body, in our feelings, in our energetic flow, what is happening to me right now as a response to this thought pattern. And then the third stage is offering a new thought pattern, so the other side thought pattern to the mind. And the fourth stage, there are 4 stages, I said 3, I'm sorry. The fourth stage is to go back to your sensation and feel again this energetic flow, this feeling, this bodily sensations that you're having now in response to this other side thought pattern. I'm gonna do this with you now just real quick so you get the sense of it. And what I want to say is that, really important side note again, when you offer this other side thought to the mind, 2 things might happen. The first thing is that the mind might accept it. It might follow it. And we need to take a minute after we offer this thought pattern to the mind. We take a minute to breathe. We breathe and we allow our mind to accept this new thought. If the mind accepts this new thought, we will immediately start to feel these new sensations in our body, in our energetic flow. We will start to feel our reaction to this new thought pattern. And if the mind rejects this feeling, this other side thought, then we might feel rejection in our body. We might feel a bit of rigidness. And this is where we need to know that we have some kind of deeper attachment to this thought. So maybe it's something in our childhood, maybe it's something that we're repeating to ourselves right now. And what we can do when this happens is take a step back and try not all the way the other side, but try something in the middle. Try a softer approach. Go even softer. Go to like, maybe you're right. Just add the word maybe. Just add a question mark at the end. I'm really, really terrible. Just add a question mark. Okay, so let it be not, I'm really, really terrible. Just, I'm really terrible, you know? So just give that a try and see if your mind and your body, if your mind accepts that, and if it does, then your bodily sensation and your emotional and your energetic flow will also start to change. Okay. So now that we have these layers layered down, and I also have that written down in a post, so if you want to read the whole post about that, I'll link a description down, but I'll put the link in the description box down below. But let's try this for a minute. Let's practice this together so that you can see how it's done and that you can have an easier time doing it and practicing yourself. So let's take for a minute the thought pattern of rejecting what is happening. So why is this happening to me? The thought pattern right now would be, why is this happening to me? So this is the thought pattern that I've recognized in my own head. And I go into my body and I just breathe for a minute. And I really map in my experience, what am I feeling? What are the emotions that arise within me because of this thought? So I have anger, and I have resentment, and I have judgment towards myself. And it feels like there is some kind of shrinkage in my shoulder area and in my chest And I can feel something in my throat and in my jaw and also in my stomach kind of closing down. So these are my sensations. So these are the two first parts. I found my thought pattern and I mapped my reaction to it. And I'm gonna go to the two last steps. So the initial thought pattern was, why is this happening to me? And I'm gonna go to the other side thought pattern. Oh, maybe, let's see what is my other side. This is okay that it is happening to me. This is what my other side is right now. My other side that I found within myself is, it's okay that it's happening to me. And I offer this to my mind. It's okay that it is happening to me. And I breathe and I let my mind accept this thought. And what is happening in my immediate experience is this part is becoming more soft and loose, and my breath is feeling easier. My breath is feeling easier and softer. And I feel in my arms, well, for me it's like joy. So joy in the palms of my hands. So this kind of tenderness and easing into it that is happening. This is how I do it. And what it does for me is two amazing things. The first one that these mind exploration exercises does for me, the first thing is it helps me to distinguish which of these layers is working inside me right now. Am I responding to my external layer? Is this really external, original, primary pain that is happening right now that I'm feeling? Or is it increased by my internal happening, my mental behavior? And I can distinguish both of them, and then I can work with whatever is happening, because if it's a physical pain, I will have a certain reaction. If it's a mental pain, I will have a different reaction. So I can distinguish them. And the second thing that is happening is that I can recognize deeper attachments that I have, because I can note what are the things that the mind had a difficult rejection to. And then I can go deeper and use conscious inner work to explore this deeper attachment and work with it and give it energetic healing and give it love and give it mental healing and give it emotional and physical healing and help myself work through this attachment. So this was quite a long video, but I feel that we've covered many things here, and I really am happy that you stuck around and you listened to all of it, because to me it was really powerful to write down all of this and to share this with you. And now I would love it if you would share with me. So write down in the comments down below, what are these mind patterns, are the mind patterns that you find that happen to you in your experience? Or maybe there are different mind patterns that you find in your experience. And what does it feel like to you? What did you feel in your body, in your sensation, in your energetic flow that happened when you offered the other side thought to your mind? So share with me in the comments down below, please, because I would love to keep this conversation going. And if you liked this video, be sure to click like, subscribe, and share it with people whom you think this could be helpful to. Thank you so much for being here with me today, and I'll see you in the next one.